Video, we're going to be doing a top-down multiple time frame analysis on Euro New Zealand, and I'm going to be showing you guys how we can incorporate these chart patterns to get a better understanding of what is going on in the market. So we're going to start on the monthly time frame as always, and we're going to really be focusing on just the important levels, but I do want to show you guys something here that you may find interesting. So we have this head and shoulder pattern over here on Euro New Zealand. It's one giant head and shoulder pattern, and it's funny because she has broken this pattern already. She has retested. I'll show you guys. Drag her over here. You see she has broken, she has retested, and she is head down. Now, you guys know that the projection for profit taking on a head and shoulder pattern is equivalent to the neckline to the head length extended. Well, we have yet to meet that target, which is down here. Okay, so on the monthly time frame, we are bearish, judging by that pattern, and not only that, we are bearish given our channel. So here we are on the monthly. Everything looks pretty bearish. It looks like on this monthly time frame we were heading down pretty steeply, and we've since broken, retested, and are heading up. But we expect that this move will be short lasting. So we are going to be looking to take the other side of this now. I'm going to go ahead and delete these here. And anyway, so that's just an overall view of this monthly time frame here. So let's go over here and mark what's actually important for our trading. So the first thing that's going to be important is this recent swing high here, right? Structure came up, down, busted through. We expect a retrace down to this level. I'm going to mark the structural low as well. And then I'm going to be looking at this recent SNR level here. Okay, so why did I mark this level here? I was looking at the bodies at first, and I was thinking, okay, and I noticed that the wicks were coming up, and I was like, okay, so it could really be anywhere in this area that price is actually reversing from. So I went to go look left, and it looks like this right here is the major area that price keeps reversing from. So I'm going to have this level marked, and I'm waiting for this. This is the next target here on Euro New Zealand on the upside. But again, we are expecting that at some point soon we will see a reversal. So I will go ahead and mark this trend line coming down. I will mark her like so. And we're just going to be watching this here and seeing if we get any reactions as we head up. In fact, this next resistance could be the last resistance we see before we start to break down. So that's it for the monthly. Let's go ahead and head down to the weekly time frame. Okay, so here on the weekly, what I'm seeing first of all is that we have a counter trend line heading up. So we can watch that, and really what we have is a channel. So actually I'm going to go ahead and delete this counter trend line, and I'm going to make her a channel heading up here. There we go. And so we're just watching her head up here in this channel. Now we're at the top of our channel, so we expect, and again, like we talked about in the monthly, it's time for a retrace down into these levels here that we've already marked. And so we expect a retrace back down. And even on the weekly, the important level here that we'd be looking at, and then our weekly is a thinner line here. So what we could likely see is price retrace to our recent swing high here on the weekly, maybe give a bit deeper retracement to meet the monthly and bounce off the trend line and then continue heading up. So that's all I'm gathering here from this weekly. Let's go ahead and go down to the daily. And again, we're expecting that it's time for price to potentially retrace back down. So daily, I get another trend line here coming up that we are following. And I don't think there's anything else too important. The daily structural level is right where the weekly is, so that's nice. Let's see here. Let me go back just to check the weekly level. She might be a little higher here, right here. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so I just adjusted the weekly level here on the daily. Everything else looks just fine. Interesting, you guys can see over here that we had a head and shoulder formation, and she played out beautifully. All right, down here. She played out beautifully. She broke right here, and then she continued to head down. Let's check the target. Boom. She met her target. It's funny because we were putting this in the Telegram when this happened. It was a while back, it was 2 months ago, but she met her target beautifully here. And again, it's something that aligns with everything else that you guys should be looking at, right? It came down to a monthly level, aligned perfectly with the target, right? So everything lines up here. It all comes together. But anyways, currently on the daily, there's nothing else too important. Let's go ahead and head down to the 4-hour. Alrighty. 4-hour. Now the 4-hour is really interesting, and this week, in fact, that this video is being recorded, we've been talking about this a lot in the Telegram, but we have a major support and resistance level up here. Let me get this that we've been watching. Okay, and we've been watching this level, and we've been noticing some potential reversal signs, right? So price came in, printed an evening star formation. Price came in. We get a nice bearish exhaustion candle here. And at the time, it was interesting because we had this level like so, and this wicked all the way through to take out orders, took out stop losses, trapped the buyers. So we're thinking, okay, wow, we might see a reversal here. And then we came back down all the way to our trend line, shot back up, and we were watching real closely. And what happened? We almost got a breakthrough, but then we got a bearish engulfing candle right after, right? So we retested and hold, and then we kind of retested from the inside and head back down to our trend line. So we're watching this area closely here, and we're kind of expecting that this might be the point where we see this overall market retracement occur, and we're looking at this level down here, our weekly level, for our retracement zone. Now there are other confluences which we won't discuss here since you guys haven't learned them yet, but you guys will be learning them next month during the indicator month. But a lot of confluences for this downside target here. Ultimately though, in order to take the safe trade, we need to see price break through this trend line, retest, and head down like so. We need to see this. And at this point, once you see that price is holding as a retest, that is when you want to enter your short trade down here to the target level for 300 or so pips. Now, until then, we are still technically in bullish territory. Now, note this here on the 4-hour. If you guys are following structure here, let me go ahead and change this to my traditional black for support and resistance, and I'll show you guys structure. So structure was here, and then she moved up to here, and then she's been here this whole time. Even when she breaks through this trend line and retests, we expect that she will struggle down here in this area right here at the bullish structure, and it isn't until she breaches this and retest that there is no longer, any question about it. She's heading down to our target. But until then, it's all slightly risky. And again, it's not that these aren't good trades. We just want you guys to understand all aspects of the trades, right? So you guys know what is a premium optimal trade, what's just a good trade, what's a mediocre trade, and that'll help you guys understanding when you're losing, when you're winning, and ultimately you can be as picky as you want in these markets. There's plenty of pairs, plenty of trading opportunities, plenty of time frames. It's up to you guys to decide how you want to trade the markets. So we just want to give you the overall picture. So that is the 4-hour time frame here. Let's go ahead and head down to the 1 hour. Let's see what we can get on the 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour, nothing too special. Looks like we had a descending trend line here, which has now broken, retested, and so we are expecting that price will make possibly another push to the upside before we get any kind of breaks down or maybe a break up, or we're kind of waiting here because again, of course, a break to the upside and a retest, we will buy her up to this channel resistance. But again, we are expecting a retracement here from the higher time frame. So this is ultimately what we're kind of expecting, but we'll trade either way. Now, there's that on the hour. Let's go ahead and go down to the 15-minute. Not seeing anything else too special here. Okay, so on the 15 minutes, and we were discussing this yesterday, we actually took a scalp short trade in the Telegram yesterday based on this. I want to zoom out here. Zoom out. Okay. So on this 15-minute time frame, we had an ascending channel here, which we were watching like so. We had this ascending channel, and we noticed inside this ascending channel that we had a head and shoulder formation. So we had a left shoulder here, which you guys can see. We got kind of two shoulders there forming one shoulder. It's all a head and shoulder formation. So this is the head and shoulder formation right here, right? So we say, okay, there's a bearish formation within this ascending channel. So what are we waiting for? Well, we're waiting for price to break the neckline. Now what happened, and I'm going to show you guys here if I can zoom in. When price broke our neckline over here, what happened? She was still sitting on a channel support, so we didn't sell her yet, right? Then we saw price break, we saw her retest, we saw her close down here, and that was our sell trade, right? Based on the bearish head and shoulder formation, a break and retest of the ascending channel, bearish engulfing candles, bearish exhaustion on the outside here, right? Everything came together to give us this trade. Now, projection of targets, right? Projection of targets, we were looking down here in this area. So this area right here is where we should have been taking our targets. Now she of course busted through these targets, headed down to our overarching trend line, which we would have expected at that point. But again, this was a nice 60 pip trade. It was only slightly risky because the higher time frames are bullish, but again, it was still a fantastic trade. And that is how you guys use these things together to really start to, picture up the market, see what it's doing. Even guys, look, even down here to begin with, even down here, we had an inverse head and shoulder pattern. We had a left shoulder here, we had a head here, and we had a right shoulder here. You guys seeing this? We had an inverse head and shoulder pattern here. Again, project your targets. You guys could have seen, and this printed right off our major ascending trend line, right? So you guys should have known this was a buy. Projection of targets. You guys can see we have now met these targets, and look what happened when price got here. She printed a nice railroad bearish reversal signal right off of these targets, and she's just been chilling ever since. So again, that's how you guys should be using these things, right? It's not too complicated once you understand the overall picture. And again, these things should really be helping you guys with that, as you're going around looking for these things, right? And even like small things like right here, you had a triple top formation, right? Price came up, boom, bearish engulfing, price came up, boom, bearish tweezers, price came up, you got a bearish engulfing again, right? Triple top formation, hit right back down. And then you guys see these things pop up everywhere, right? You guys can see, look, triple bottom, rejection, 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 boom. This one even had more rejection, so this is more of just a general support. But you guys, in terms of what a triple bottom means, it's supposed to help you guys identify support and resistance zones, right? And even up here, you had 1, 2, 3 rejections, right? Triple top, headed right back down to our triple bottom, right? So you guys are using these quote-unquote formations to understand what is going on in the market.